need to read this question very carefully and decide what's what here. First of all, the diagram says that we have a circular pond. So this bit in the middle here, this is the pond, surrounded by a circular path. So the grey part here is the path, and the width of the path is a constant 1.5 meters. And it tells us that the area of the path is 1/10 the area of the pond. Now again, it's a good idea to write that as a little equation. So basically, path area equals 1/10 times pond area. Okay, translate that into sort of a mathematical sentence, if you like. Okay, let's start with the path. Now, to work out the area of the path, that is literally just this grey part. And to work out the area of this, well, the area of that path is actually going to be the area of the outside circle take away the area of the inside circle. Let's have a look at how that works. So if we look at the outside circle, so the area is, now the area of a circle is pi r squared. So for the outside circle, the area is going to be pi times, now let's think about it. The radius of the outside circle is the distance from there to there. And the distance from there to there, well, this bit is r, this bit is 1.5, so this is actually r plus 1.5. So the radius of the outer circle is r plus 1.5. So the area of the outer circle is pi times r plus 1.5 squared. Now all that is the area of the outside circle. It's not the area of the path. To work out the area of the path, we need to subtract the area of the inside circle. So let's work out the area of the inside circle. So the area again is pi r squared, and this time for the inside circle the radius is r. So the area of the inside circle is pi r squared. Now that means that the path area is the area of the outside circle. Well, that's pi times r plus 1.5 squared. Take away the area of the inner circle, which is pi r squared. Now I'm going to go on and simplify that because I can see that I need to make this equation. Okay, to work out pi times r plus 1.5 squared, I've got to multiply out r plus 1.5. Now to do that, I'm going to have to do r plus 1.5 multiplied by another r plus 1.5. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second, and that's minus pi r squared. So if we work this out, so pi, now to remove the brackets here, we are going to do r times r, well that's r squared, plus the outer terms, well 1.5 times r, that's 1.5 r, plus the inner terms, which is another 1.5 r, plus 1.5 times 1.5, which is 2.25. Okay, and again that is now minus pi r squared. Okay, if we just simplify this, so this is the path area, remember, that we're working out, so it's pi times r squared plus 1.5 and 1.5 is 3 plus 2.25, and that's minus pi r squared. Now if we remove the curly brackets, we've got pi r squared plus 3 pi r plus 2.25 pi minus pi r squared. So actually the path area, we can now, if we do pi r squared minus pi r squared, the path area is just 3 pi r plus 2.25 pi. Okay, so let's go back to remind ourselves what we're doing. We're told that the path area is 1/10 of the pond area. So this is the path area. So the path area here, so whoops, 3 pi r plus 2.25 pi, that is the path area, and that is equal to 1/10 of the pond area. Now this is the pond in the middle here. Area of the pond is pi r squared. Okay, so this is my equation that I'm going to make into somehow this equation up here. Well, for a start, I can see that pi is in everything, so I'm going to just divide by pi. So I've got 3r plus 2.25 is equal to 1/10 r squared. And I don't like that 10th, and there's no 10th up here anyway, so I am going to multiply by 10 to start with. So this becomes 30r, this becomes 22.5, and this becomes r squared. Still not good enough, I've still got a decimal here, so if I now double, this becomes 60r, this becomes, if you double 22.5, that comes out as 45, and that, if you double r squared, is 2r squared. And if I now make that into a quadratic equation, so I'm going to subtract these two from both sides, this side becomes 0, the right hand side becomes 2r squared minus 60r minus 45, and that gives me my equation. So 2r squared minus 60r minus 45 is equal to 0. Now, if you couldn't manage to do part A, you should still be able to do part B, because part B just says find the area of the pond. Well, we know this equation, and we know that if we solve this quadratic equation, we'll be able to find r, and once you've found r, we can work out the area of the pond. So this is a quadratic equation. The question says give my answer to 3 significant figures, which tells me I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula. So x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. And remember, that formula is given to you in the front of the paper. Right, if we look at this equation, we can see that a is 2, and b is minus 60, and c is minus 45. So I've just got to carefully put that into the formula. So x, except in this case it's r is going to be, so we're going to do minus b, well b is minus 60, so it becomes 60 plus or minus the square root of b squared. Well, if we square minus 60, it comes out as positive 3,600 minus, now we do 4 times 2, which is a, times c, which is minus 45, and that is all divided by 2a. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, let's keep going. So r is equal to 60 plus or minus the square root of 3,600. Now it's going to be minus a negative number, and this comes out as 360. So 8 times 4 times 2 times minus 45, so that's minus 360 divided by 4. If we keep going, so it's 60 plus or minus the square root of 3,600 plus 360 divided by 4, which is 60 plus or minus the square root of 3,960 divided by 4, which is 60. Until I get my calculator out at this stage, you get 2 possible answers, one of which is 30.7321 for r, or the alternative is minus 0.73. Well, you can't have a radius of a circle being negative, so we can reject that one straight away. So reject it. Now remember, that is the radius, but what we're actually asked to find is the area of the pond. Well, the pond area, remember, is just pi r squared, so we are going to do pi times 30.7321 etc. squared. Don't round the 30.3721, and that comes out as 2,967.1211. And if we round that to 3 significant figures, so we've got 296, chop, the 6 rounds up to a 7, so we get 297, put in that 0 to keep everything the right size, and there's meters squared, and that's our answer.